America's team has dropped another game, winnable game here, winnable game against the LA Sparks. And it has everybody asking, when is White Jesus coming back? Caitlin Clark, a.k.a. White Jesus, a.k.a. Jesus Clark. When is the return? We can't continue to watch this mess. Asia Civil Rights Wilson, a.k.a. Asia Civil Rights Whistle, has been exposed. There's a conversation happening in the WNBA regarding the Unrivaled League versus the WNBA, and if there's a conflict of interest, didn't think it would be much of a conversation, but it is. Christine Brennan has released a tell-all book. There's a new slow of the week. We're going to talk about it and much more right after the intro. Let's go!
Yeah, they had that and 9 free throws. So, I think they just put their head down and started to attack us. They did a really good job of recognizing, when our guards, our small guards got switched on to whether it's Jackson or Stevens. They also did a good job of executing some of their schemes. I thought some of those screen-to-screener actions that they ran, we've went over for the last 2 days, and so we weren't very disciplined in that. But I felt like they let the game come to them in those moments, and we, on the other hand, really felt pressed in those moments and forced some shots or quick shots and didn't really make them work as much as we could on the defensive end. Yeah, we got to protect our paint.
Despite all that, you had a look, I think it was airy on that left arc. Was that kind of what you were looking for? Were you good with that shot late?
In which one? Which, on the last time
like
out?
The last 30 seconds.
The last 30 seconds? Yeah, I mean, I think get on the three?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good look for us. It was a good look for us. We had a look we missed, I think, on Kelsey on a back door on one of our other timeouts. We had a great look with AB in the slip on one of them as well. Even at the end of the game, I know it's tough because Azrae Stevens is on the ball and it makes it really tough. I thought Soph was open over the top. But sometimes when teams play with that physicality and use that length, it causes you to rush a little bit, whether it's rushing a shot, rushing a read. It closes the gap, narrows the gap a little bit more.
All right, Stephanie White Leather gets the tech. Look at her, Stephanie White. Stand up for America's team, baby. Look at her on the side. She's clearly getting pushed. Clearly getting pushed. If you look at this play, guys, look at, and not to even get into film breakdown right now, but look at Kelsey Mitchell right here in the deep corner on your right. She's getting hounded and pushed. This happens to America's team every game. Stephanie White deservingly gets the tech. White Jesus claps her up. Let's go, White Jesus. Let's go, America's team, baby. That's right, all effing game. And White Jesus says, F yeah. F yeah. White Jesus watched wrestling growing up. I'm convinced. What's up, boys, girls? He, she, they, them, we, or whatever you choose to identify as. Welcome to the W360, your home for all things women's basketball. I'm your host, CJSoFoolish, and welcome to another episode of the W360, okay? What's up, W360 Nation? What's up, America? And what's up, everyone else all over? What's going on, Tiana? What's up, Miss Fins? Rhonda Stewart is in the chat. Chris Mitchell, I see you here in the chat. What's going on, beautiful Afro woman? What's going on, Peggy? Stephanie Walk is in the building. Kelly is in the building. Lauren, I know you're out there. Ivan E is in the building. Cara, Baba Paranoic. I appreciate you guys. Yes, please hit the like button. What's up, Bob Paranoic? I hope I said that right. Annette, Heather, Richard, thank you for the super chat. And Sade. What's up, W360 Nation, and welcome to tonight's episode. What's going on, Lisa G? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode, okay? We have a full episode ahead. We got a few things to get through and talk about, and we got some things to call out. Okay? Now, before we get started, listen, if you are new here, welcome to the W360, okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and tell another friend, tell your mama, your daddy, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, and your cousin, the weird cousin that nobody in the family wants around the other kids because that little kid is weird, and you're scared that they're going to touch the other little kids. You got to tell that little one to subscribe on his tablet as well. Subscribe. Tell everyone you know to subscribe to the W360 so we can continue to get the channel out there, okay? The channel is growing very fast, very fast. So I'm really excited, about what's ahead for the W360, okay? And if you are a returning subscriber, W360 Nation, thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for getting the word out there. Thank you for our Twitter presence, okay? Because we are loud on Twitter. We are loud on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter and at the W360 underscore, at the W360 underscore. We sit and chat and we cackle all day, okay? And we call out the nonsense. We do, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Terry? The Organic Veal Radio says, I missed the broom. The broom is in the background when somebody is sweepity, swept. Okay? So the broom's not in the background every single episode. Tony D says, P.S. Your honesty scares me. Honesty scares a lot of people. It scares a lot of people, but fear is necessary. Fear is necessary, just like bullying. Here, let's go ahead and get started, guys. All right, we're going to talk about the Sparks game. Okay, we're going to talk about the Fever and Sparks game. Just to kind of dive into it a little bit and where I think Indiana stands. We're going to talk about Asia's civil rights whistle. Okay, Asia Civil Rights Whistle, a.k.a. Asia Civil Rights Wilson. All right, now we got to talk about that and how this league, this has to come to an end now. God damn it, goddamn. Now, how long are we going to continue to let Asia Wilson continue just to get whistle after whistle after whistle? Okay, conflict of interest conversation is happening. Not that big of a conversation in my opinion, but it went viral. We're going to talk about it. Christine Brennan has a tell-all book out. Okay. And she's telling it all, baby. All right. Who would have thought that we would be talking about a tell-all book in the WNBA? But here we are. Here we are. The AllStar reserves have been announced. They have been announced. And we also have a new slow of the week. Okay, now you're well respected, but, the slow of the week doesn't discriminate. We're going to have to, let you have it. Got to let you have it, all right? All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. Is this in the... Yes, I did just watch I caught some of the Chicago Sky game. Looks like there need to be a little more rebounds made. If you ask me, there wasn't enough rebounds. All right. Chicago Sky lost 75-80 just to wrap up today's games. Seattle Storm beat the Liberty 79-70, and the Seattle Aces, they won 86-68. Okay. Chicago Sky game just wrapped up. Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky was not able to pull off the win over the Minnesota Lynx. Okay. Wasn't enough rebounds able to be secured in that game to pull off the win. It was a lot, but it wasn't enough. It was a lot, but it wasn't enough. All right. So, you guys can go back to Chicago. Go back to, maybe you guys should go out to some of the places in Chicago and try to play some of those guys out there. And, try to figure out what's going on. You can't wear a me-bound shirt and lose. Can't wear your me-bound shirt and lose. That's a sign of losery. Okay. So I would hope Chicago Sky trolls. I don't know if they're in my chat tonight. You guys should be here. What happened to all your rebounds? Can't get you any wins. Can't get you any wins. Can't get you any wins. But you know what? Speaking of not getting any wins. Speaking of not getting any wins. I can't be the one talking about Chicago Sky because America's team dropped a very winnable game. Let's just say that. A very, very winnable game over the July 4th weekend. By the way, I hope everyone enjoyed their July 4th weekend. Okay. I enjoyed mine. I hope everyone enjoyed yours. Okay. Very winnable game. In the loss against the LA Sparks, Chicago. Indiana Fever lost 87-89. It came down to the wire. Came down to the wire. In a game that should not have been close. Had no business being close with or without white sheets on the floor. The LA Sparks, I'm not saying they stink. I'm not saying they stink. They have talented players on that roster. You have Kelsey Plum. You have Azurá Stevens. Dear Kahimbi. Okay, but and their role players step up. Mercedes Russell is terrible, by the way. But their role players step up. Right? Kelsey Plum was lethal. Kelsey Plum was lethal. Okay, but it just seems like that this Indiana Fever squad, and I should have updated her picture. The Chicago Sky Slow is here. I should have updated her picture, but you have this Indiana Fever squad who decided just to show up flat for some reason and show up without the same intensity, defensive intensity. Okay, which is the main key factor or the key factor that won these games so far. It was the main reason they won because of the defensive intensity. Okay, now a lot of people wanted to blame Stephanie White Leather. So, and I would say there was some questionable things White Leather did in this game. There were some questionable calls she made, and there were some questionable subs or lack thereof. But there were a lot of missed layups in this game, and there were a lot of defensive assignments missed in this game. A lot. Didn't shoot well from the free throw. Didn't shoot well at all. We shot 63% from the free throw line. Didn't shoot well from the three, 35% from the three. And to be completely honest, the Indiana Fever just doesn't have a solid starting 3-guard. Okay? That's just what the truth is. That's what Dewana Bonner was supposed to be. But you're putting Lexi Hall in a position where Lexi Hall is getting a lot of flack, but I think Lexi Hall is carrying out her role. But I think people have to realize Lexi Hall is she's a role player. She's a hustler. She's going to get you rebounds, and she'll hit the open three, but I don't think Lexi Hall is a bona fide starter. I think she's a person that should come off the bench and give you energy and make key defensive plays, etc. Right? So the Indiana Fever is lacking that wing position to take some relief off of the other guards on the floor. Lexi Hustle does great, but Lexi Hustle is trying to carry out starter duties as a role player. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And that's not taking anything from her. Anything from her. They need a bona fide 3 wing player. That's just what Indiana Fever needs. Also, Kelsey Mitchell sat way too long in the fourth quarter. She sat way too long. At one point in the fourth quarter, I was thinking that put her back in. Put Kelsey Mitchell back in the game, and then Stephanie White calls a blitz defense to blitz Kelsey Plum, and they literally torched that defense. They torched it, and she stayed in it too long. Why do you keep trapping in the fourth quarter and key plays of the game? Why do you keep trapping? They're killing it because Natasha Howard is missing that assignment on the back end. She gave Rakia Jackson a 3 and 1 play. She's not rotating up. This team this wasn't the time to run a trap for this squad. It wasn't. You're better off staying man to man. So just think, if you have an Azare Stevens on the Indiana Fever squad that can knock down those threes, that can attack the basket, also, that's what you need. That's just what you need. And I've said this before on this channel, and I'll say it again. There's a personnel issue on this team. Does not all fall on Stephanie White. It doesn't. She can't go out there and make layups and make wide open threes and attack the basket. Ari McDonald, attack the basket. And I love Ari. I think she's a great addition to this channel, but there has to be room for improvement. Attack. Score. Go to score. So you can create for your outside players, but they also have to knock down the shot. So again, this is a team operating without their best player. The best player in the league, actually. The best player in the league and the best player in their team on the floor that has the most gravity to be able to open things up for her teammates. Lexi Hustle plays better when White Jesus is on the floor. Aaliyah Boston plays better when White Jesus is on the floor. Kelsey Mitchell plays better. The whole team. Natasha just started playing better. She did. But the team is missing White Jesus. This team desperately needs White Jesus. Desperately. This team is offensively handicapped without White Jesus. I don't know why that narrative was pushed out there that this team is a lot better without White Jesus. This team looks better without Caitlin Clark. It's jealousy, it's hate. We're going to get to you later, Carolyn Peck. But the truth is, this team needs Caitlin Clark on the offensive end. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Tony D, thank you for the super chat, says, does the Fever team understand they have to beat the team and the refs? Yeah, we're going to get to the refs. We're getting to the refs when we get to Asia Whistle. But that is a way that you also beat the refs, right? You have to be aggressive and go to the basket. There were so many plays Ari McDonald could have penetrated and get to the basket. She wasn't aggressive this past game. Sophie got to the basket that one play. But it seems like everyone is kind of just standing around and just jacking up shots. And it's like, get to the basket. Go to score. Look to score. Look to score. It didn't look like everyone was just passing and passing and passing and passing. I don't know if that's the offensive scheme or not, but get out of it. Stephanie, get them out of this slow half-court motion. But you can't get into transition because they were sucking on defense. So the team overall, they just weren't good. They just weren't good. They weren't good. They were not good. They weren't good. But yes, the blitz was just questionable, and I think that was the wrong defensive option to go to in the fourth quarter. They got smoked on that blitz. Blitz and Kelsey Mitchell. And come on, I mean, Kelsey Mitchell's a great guard, okay? Of course, she's going to make the read. They got smoked on that blitz, and I think that's when LA pulled away with the game in the fourth quarter. Also, KK Timpson. KK Timpson is a problem. Okay. KK Timpson is a problem. I want to play, I would think my favorite, or is the W360 play of the game, guys. KK Timpson, let's take a look at this block.
So dangerous. They don't look like a 5-win team to me.
Oh, and there's Timpson sending it back.
Oh, my goodness. I want to take another look.
LA is so dangerous. They don't look like a 5-win team to me.
Oh, and there's Timpson sending it back.
LA is so dangerous. They don't look like a 5-win team to me.
Look how high she is off the ground. KK Timpson is she's going to be so
LA is so
good.
dangerous. They don't look like a 5-win team to me.
Oh, and there's Timpson sending it back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. KK Timpson is definitely a rookie that I think she reminds me a lot of Ashley Watkins from South Carolina. Ooze of athleticism, so much potential, and I think she's going to dunk eventually. KK Timpson will dunk eventually, and I can't wait to see her throw some of these vets, throw some of their balls out of the air. You hear me? When she jumps, her head is near the rim. It's near the rim. Seriously, so you got Damaris Dantes coming back. I personally think White Sheezes will be back for the game against Golden State this week. I'm hoping she'll be back against Golden State. But these losses to the LA Sparks, like these are wins that should be on the win column for Indiana. These losses are going to catch up. You're putting yourself in a hole to where you're going to put yourself against games or in a position where games you have to win, where these LA Sparks games should just be wins. They should be wins. With or without White Sheezes. That LA Sparks team is a very beatable team. So nonetheless, frustrating loss for the Indiana Fever, but when you come out and you don't play with defensive intensity, especially when you are offensively handicapped, then that's the loss. I mean, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Indiana gave up 87 points, and I think they gave up 15 points in like the last 5 minutes of the game. So they crumbled in the clutch. And one other thing, just to kind of wrap up this Indiana Fever game, I think there has to be a go-to player, a bona fide go-to plan in the clutch for Indiana, and I don't think they have that. Of course, when White Jesus is playing, the ball needs to be in White Jesus' hand. Okay? If not White Jesus' hand, there has to be a play designed to where if it's not White Jesus, option number 2 is Kelsey Mitchell. Option number 3 is Aaliyah Boston. Or you can flip those depending on who you play. But I don't think there's a solid clutch offense. Why is Ari McDonald and nothing against her taking a 3? So, they need to, hopefully they'll figure it out. Get another piece in there. White Jesus come back. White Jesus is going to have to perform when she comes back because we're not early in the season anymore. We're midway in the season. Like we're at AllStar. Playoff positions are starting to matter. Games They matter. It's time to gel and, get this thing figured out. White leather, get it figured out. And why is Bree Turner still on this team? Seriously. Now, I've heard people say, well, Bree Turner, maybe she's still here because of this and this. Get Bree Turner off this squad. Get someone that's on the bench that can come in and contribute. She's a waste of space. Seriously. I mean, you guys are hoarding players at this point. You're hoarding players. Trade her. And if you can't trade her, well, by God, cut her. Cut her. I have to go to work next week after July 4th weekend. You think I feel like it? No, but I have to perform. I have to give presentation. I have to prepare things. You think I'm able to just go to work and just not do anything? How is she able to go to work and not do anything? And don't tell me she's able to perform in practice. Well, she helps in practice because they have practice guys. So that means she's doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. You're not even contributing to the fits. Seriously. Now, sometimes when you hoard objects, they come in. You seen that show, Intervention or Hoarders? The people come in and say, hey, you got to throw this out. You done had this here for too long. I'm telling you here, Stephanie, Amber, you got to throw her out. You got to throw her out. She done been there too long. She's been there too long. You got to throw her out. She's trash. And don't tell me she's good for the locker room. That's what Sydney Colson is there for. You see her here. At least Sydney is hitting shots. Sydney's hitting shots. You see, I didn't say nothing about Sydney. Sydney's hitting shots. Sydney's hitting shots. Okay, she's playing better. She's hitting shots. When she get in, she control the offense. She looks better. Okay, she's doing good, which is a win for me at the end of the day because I want America's team to win. But if you keep Breonna Turner on this floor or on this team, what are you doing? Now it's time for some decisions to be made. I want Bree Turner out of my town. You free up that money and you get someone in here that can help us score. We got agendas to push and points to prove. And it's not too late. America's team will come out on top. And as long as everyone shut your pie holes and listen when we say get Bree Turner out in this town, and you get someone on this roster, this squad, that can help. There's no way she's contributing in any kind of way. Not in practice. We see she don't contribute in the game. She's just sitting there. Gidding did not play, coach's decision. Game before that did not play, coach's decision. Only one on the team. The only one. Send her back to Chicago. She's sitting on the sideline reading Malcolm X books. Seriously. Now, if anything grinds my gears, it's the fact that Bree Turner is still on this squad. Seriously. Did I have any other plays from this game? All right, everyone's getting in. Everyone's getting in. I'm going to play here. What Stephanie White had to say after the game, just in case you guys missed it. I see a lot of more people have come in. I'm going to play that. And then we're going to move on to Asia's Civil Rights Whistle, a.k.a. Asia Wilson, a.k.a. Asia Whistle. Okay, we're going to move on to that. Speaking of, just things that's just going on in this league. And then we're going to get to the conflict of interest conversation that's happening. And then we're going to talk about Christine Brennan, who has her tell-all book that's out, and AllStar, and then we're going to wrap up. Let's take a look at what Stephanie White Leather had to say after the game.
Yeah, they had that and 9 free throws. So, I think they just put their head down and started to attack us. They did a really good job of recognizing, when our guards, our small guards got switched on to, whether it's Jackson or Stevens. They also did a good job of executing some of their schemes. I thought some of those screen-to-screener actions that they ran, we've went over for the last 2 days, and so we weren't very disciplined in that. But I felt like they let the game come to them in those moments, and we, on the other hand, really felt pressed in those moments and forced some shots or quick shots and didn't really make them work as much as we could on the defensive end. Yeah, we got to protect our paint.
Despite all that, you had to look, I think it was area on that left arc. Was that kind of what you were looking for? Were you good with that shot late?
In which one? Which, on the last time
like
out, or
the last 30 seconds?
The last 30 seconds? Yeah, I mean, I think get on the three?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good look for us. It was a good look for us. We had a look we missed, I think, on Kelsey on a back door on one of our other timeouts. We had a great look with AB in the slip on one of them as well. Even at the end of the game, I know it's tough because Azrae Stevens is on the ball and it makes it really tough. I thought Soph was open over the top. But sometimes when teams play with that physicality and use that length, it causes you to rush a little bit, whether it's rushing a shot, rushing a read. It closes the gap, narrows the gap a little bit more.
All right. So, yes, that's what Stephanie White had to say after the game. Moving along. You got Golden State. We will see tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they'll announce tomorrow if White Jesus is allowed to play. But Stephanie White Leather, come on, man. You look. Okay. Now, I don't understand how you run a blitz with Natasha Howard on the back end. You got KK sitting on the bench who was having a great game. Now, you got to just make those adjustments. Damn it. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of people watching. We want America's team to win. Come on, White Leather. Come on. And this team show up. Now we got agendas to push and points to prove. Also, Lexi Hall, you got to be more aggressive. Lexi Hustle has to be more aggressive offensively. I agree with that. Lexi Hustle got to be more aggressive. But as I said in the beginning of the show, Lexi Hustle is a role player. I think she carries out her role. She's put in a starter position. That starter position demands you to score and be aggressive. Her role is a person that come off the bench, give defensive intensity, and hit the open threes. That's her role. This team is just lacking personnel. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, okay? All right, it just doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff is just not making sense sometimes. All right. We got to get you down, white leather. Oh, here she is. All right. Moving along. Moving along. Oh, where are we going next? I want to go here because I really want to talk about this. Right here. Right here. Right here, right here, right here. E. Rogel said her role changed. Yeah, that's not her role. Lexi Hall is not. I think Lexi Hall is better fit in coming off the bench and giving some great hustle plays. You need a true three, okay? You need a true three. Lexi Hall makes the lineup a little smaller. And she's not playing with confidence, and she hasn't been producing offensively. She just hasn't over the last few games. She's not giving anything on offense. So yeah, like last game, Lexi Hustle had 5 points. 5 points. She played 22 minutes. Game before that, I think she had about the same. Game before that, like she's not giving anything offensively. And in the clutch of a game, she goes for, not to take away from her hustle. I call her Lexi Hustle, but she goes for an offensive foul instead of just playing straight up defense. You know, so that's not the time to do that. That's a second quarter move, a third quarter move. But in the fourth quarter, you try to draw the offensive charge when you're buried down in the paint. You're better off just fouling. You're better off just fouling. Nonetheless, we're behind America's team. We got agendas to push and points to prove. Okay. So we'll see. Asia Civil Rights Whistle, aka Asia Civil Rights Wilson, aka Asia Roots Django. Okay. I don't know what the email, I think, you know how you get the company-wide email at work? You wake up to it at the beginning of a new fiscal year and say, hey, these are the goals for this fiscal year. Here, 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 and here. I think there was an email sent out to the WNBA officials at the beginning of the season that said, hey, these are the goals for WNBA 2025 season. Asia Wilson will attempt 29 free throws a game. Asia Wilson will be the WNBA MVP, even if we have to help her get all our points. Okay? WNBA media will mention on every single broadcast that she is the best player in the world. Asia Wilson is the best player on the planet. But you didn't think that millions of people that are watching, would watch the game and say, hey, God damn it, now it's right. No. How many damn times is she going to go to the line? Now, no on, and you wonder, people wonder why when she gets a shoe and then we have to listen to Carolyn Peck, you have to listen to Shanae Ogumake, Elle Dumpkin, Elle Duncan, and the rest of them, Jamel Jump Off a Hill, and the rest of them. They shove down your throat. Shove down your throat. Asia Civil Rights Wilson. Asia Civil Rights Wilson. Asia Civil Rights Wilson. All of this is forced, just like her foul calls. Just like her foul calls. We're watching the game. All of us are watching. We watch sports. You're not talking to your normal slow crowd. Okay? We're not. This WNBA crowd no longer consists of just South Carolina fans, and that's it. And you can just say anything to them. They say, yeah, Asia Wilson, Asia Wilson, Asia Wilson. That's not it. That's not it. You're going to have people that say, hey, no, this shit ain't making any sense. Okay, how is she shooting this many free throws? She's literally going up and getting, or not even getting touched. And she's, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Shut your pie hole. No one touched you. No one touched you. Asia Wilson led the league in free throws in 2024, in 2023, in 2020, and my God, in 2018, her rookie year. Who leads the league their rookie year? Asia Wilson cheats all the time. And she gets the whistle, and it's not denied. Asia Wilson cheats all of the time. And she gets the whistle, all of the night, time. Ooh, I'm gonna shoot my own commercial in an empty pool. You got Barack Obama's daughter to direct your commercial. I'm gonna get Laura Trump to direct mine. We're shooting our own commercials. I'm telling you right now, we're calling it out. We're calling it out, Asia. We are calling it out. There is no way she can no longer get away with this. She cannot continue to get away with this. Asia Wilson cheats all of the time. And she can't be denied. And she gets the whistle. Asia Wilson cheats. What's her name? It's Laura Trump, Tiana Trump, whatever, Tiffany Trump, whatever their names is. I'm going to get one of them to die. I'm going to get Barron. Because y'all know Barron. Ain't that his name, Barron Trump? I'm going to get him to do my commercial. I'm going to do my own commercial. Asia Wilson cheats all of the time. Gets that whistle. Can't be denied, night. Seriously, we're shooting our own commercials over here, okay? Since everybody can put out a commercial that tells lies, mine will be the truth. It's just too much. Ivanka. That's who I was thinking of, Ivanka. Ivanka seems like a cool girl. But it's just too much. The thing is, and if you look at the last game, Asia Wilson took what? Was it 18? 13 free throws? 13 free throws. And Aaliyah Boston takes 2. Asia Wilson has the refs on notice. And I'm telling you right now, guys, I've been telling you this. This ref right here. This ref right here. This is the one, folks. This is the one. This is the one. This ref right here. This is Asia Wilson's, a.k.a. Asia Civil Rights Wilson, a.k.a. Asia Civil Rights Whistle, biggest fan. I wouldn't be surprised if they were sisters. This needs to be investigated. This needs to be investigated, folks. And I say that because I'm not just talking here. Let me give you an example of what the shit we have to watch when Asia Wilson plays. Oh, no, not this one. I don't even start with this one. All right. Look at here. You see the ref. Look who the ref is. Let's start over. Here, we can play it up. They probably already demonetized it anyway. Look at here.
It's time Nye on the drive, gets inside, floats it up, shot won't fall.
Look at Asia. Look at Asia. Look at Asia.
Wilson, what looks like over the back. Oh, boy.
The announcers are saying looks like over the back.
The drive gets inside, floats it up, shot won't fall. Wilson, what looks like over the back. Oh, boy. Jump ball is the call.
And the black ref, the one with that mohawk, the one with the braids, calls a jump ball. Look at here.
On the drive, gets inside, floats it up, shot won't fall. Wilson.
Look. What in the hell? Look at Asia Wilson over Lexi Hall. And look what she
Wilson,
said.
it looks like over the back. Oh, boy. Jump ball is the.
And Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hustle are like, that's literally over the back. That's literally over the back. Asia Wilson cheats, and she gets the whistle. Can't be denied, night. All they do is lie. Asia Wilson cheats, and all over the whistle. All they do is lie, and it can't be denied. And it's this one right here. Right here. I'm telling you, this woman needs to be investigated. Asia needs to be investigated. Dawn Staley needs to be investigated because she ref a lot of South Carolina games. She ref a lot of South Carolina games as well. Now, I don't care. I'm calling it out. Y'all didn't. She ref a lot of South Carolina games. Now, I don't know what's going on with this ref and Dawn and Asia and everybody else, but I'm telling y'all right now, all right, we know what goes on in this league. We know what goes on in this league. Okay, and Becky. Okay, I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying. Collect their phones as evidence and go through their emails. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Here's another example. Someone literally had the nerve to send me this video. This is how delusional these people are. Someone sent me a video and said, and people talking about Asia Wilson don't have moves in her bag. She don't have moves in her bag. And this is the play they sent me. You see how dumb those people are? This is the play they sent me.
It's time Nye on the drive, gets inside, floats it up, shot won't fall.
Oh, not this one. Here it is. Look at this, folks. A'ja Wilson got the ball at the top of the key. She's sizing up. She walks. This is literally a travel. How do I slow this shit down? This is a travel. Oh, I don't know how to slow it. Look at her. Look at her. She travels. She travels. And someone said, what do you mean she got some whistle in her bag? She traveled. She traveled. They call Natasha Howard for that travel every game. Natasha Howard do it at least twice a game, every game. They don't call her for that. So, I know A'ja Wilson fans, South Carolina cult, they're all down there. They're in South Carolina. And nothing against South Carolina. South Carolina has a great comedy crowd. So nothing against South Carolina. But them folks down there around that university, I don't know what they put in them people water or what they put in them people food, but those people are slow. Okay? And I know they're mad that the word is getting out that A'ja Wilson has a whistle. Okay, her game is being exposed. It's not exciting. Okay, and she's given a lot. It is what it is. Deal with it. Okay, it's a lot more people watching the league outside of Dawn Staley's fans. Okay, so the media that Dawn Staley controlled, and Dawn Staley fans who were probably the only people watching, you guys you're no longer, no one takes any of you seriously. None of you. Okay? That woman has a whistle. It is what it is. The refs are bought into it, and so is the league. Thank you, Tony D, for the super chat. I appreciate the 50. Thank you so much. Tony D says, and the WNBA wants us new fans to ignore what we see. To ignore what we see. That doesn't happen in a real league. You don't get to just talk and say things to people, and then people say, oh, okay, well, yeah, you might be right. Yeah. You might be right. No. People think on their own. Okay, at least the people that come to the league, we think on our own, baby. We do our own shows. We don't need you to tell us what. No. We can do our own shows. We can form our own communities to where we tell the truth. Okay? Now you need to investigate A'ja Wilson and that ref with that mohawk, the black one. Seriously. And speaking of weird things going on in the league, speaking of weird things going on in the league, whew. Is this where I wanted to go to next? Well, yeah, this is where we're going. No. I don't want to go there next. I'd like to go to where is her tweet? One second, folks. Oh, here we are. We was about to have to go to Joy Lloyd's mom's video for a second. All right. All right. Actually, before we get into that, let's do that. Let's just do something really quick, guys. Just really quick. No commercial break. Hey! You got to. We got to, guys. We're halfway through the show. I love it. I love it. That clips bring me joy. That clip brings me joy. Oh my goodness. Jewel Lloyd, you may not be doing nothing in the league right now. And you're very mediocre on Vegas team. But your mother, dear, oh, she's a hoot. And we love her here at the W360. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Seriously. Seriously. All right. There's a conversation happening around the WNBA. We're at 56 minutes. My goodness. Spent too much time on the game. There's a conversation happening, or was happening, or it's still happening. It's going to happen, or keep happening around the WNBA right now. Okay, there was a tweet that went viral. Shout out to Pretty Girly 2004, guys. If you're watching this and you're on Twitter, go follow Pretty Girly 2004. She's a WNBA supporter, okay, or W360 Nation supporter. She actually has posted her in our merch before as well. So someone that I follow as well, funny, super funny on Twitter, okay? So make sure you if you're watching this, go follow her, Evelyn DR. All right, tweet it here. So let me get this straight. Breanna Stewart is WNBPA president. Nafisa Collier is vice president. They co-founded Unrivaled, a league that benefits if there's a WNBA lockout. And they're the ones leading CBA negotiations. How do you negotiate in good faith? Make it make sense. Okay? Completely reasonable tweet. Completely reasonable tweet. Now the slows. There are a lot of slows and people that don't think for themselves. They would say, well, that's not, she got the names wrong and their positions wrong and things like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Her point does still stand and she raised a good question. Okay. It doesn't matter if, goddammit, Nafisa Collier was a senior VP or so. It doesn't matter. The point remains is, why are founders of Unrivaled negotiating WNBA CBA negotiations? That is a good question at the end of the day. Nafisa Collier responds. Nafisa Collier, what most people do when you're caught in something and you can't answer with facts. Nafisa Collier says, so let me get this straight. While everyone else was enjoying fireworks, you were thinking about how me and Stewie, of all people, are conspiring to force a lockout that would result in less money year-round for WNBA players. Well, what's crazy is I like Nafisa Collier, but I would have rather her responded and answered the question and just explain to people, because this tweet here has hit 1 million views. I would have rather Nafisa explain how she feels like it's not a conflict of interest. Because at the end of the day, it's a conflict of interest. You have the WNBA and you have Unrivaled League. Your interest is two owners of Unrivaled League that employs the same players as the WNBA, pays the same players as the WNBA, negotiating contracts for the WNBA. That's a conflict of interest. It is. No matter how you guys want to spin it, because I know you guys go to a lot of therapists and your therapists tell you synonymous terms to make you feel better. Okay, they may tell you it's not a conflict of interest. What it is similar terms. It's a conflict of interest at the end of the day. Now, do I think Nafisa Collier and Breanna Stewart are conspiring to start a lockout in the WNBA to help Unrivaled League grow? I'm not going to sit here on my platform and say, no, I don't think that. I don't know those women. I don't know them. I don't know them personally. I don't know what their interests are. And I don't know what backdoor conversations are like. But I'm telling you right now, the public persona looks a bit iffy. It looks a bit iffy. Okay? Seriously. I mean, it's conflict of interest. You can't have a criminal defense lawyer defending his ex-wife in a murder case. You want to know what people are going to say? Hey, I don't know, man. That seems a little iffy there. That's a little conflict of interest there. Of course you're going to say, hey, she didn't do it. She cheated on me, but she didn't do it. But you know, this is the WNBA. Everything goes in the WNBA. And I tweeted and I said, this league is used to being ran like a mom and pop shop. They're not used to fans calling this out. They're not used to YouTube shows. They're not used to other platforms outside of the cricket, outside of the media. That are just fans that was able to get WNBA media passes. Because nobody else was covering them, so that lane was wide open. So as long as they presented that they were pro Kamala and pro liberal, and they had septum rings and we're pro septum ringers, they were able to say that they were WNBA media. There was no criteria for being WNBA media, right? It never existed. It barely exists now. But they're not used to having people that say, hey, actually, hold on, scroll back down. This here doesn't make sense. You're not used to it, baby. But it's a new WNBA. It's a new time. It's a new WNBA, okay? You have new media and you have new fans. And you're not going to be able to be run like the car dealership out of the Little Giants or a coffee shop. okay? You're going to have to conduct yourselves like a true business, like every other league has to do. No one is going to have to listen to anything that Shanae Okumakern has to say, or L. Dump can, or Jamel jump off a hill. You're going to have people that fight back. Seriously. Now get over it. Deal with it. It's new people in town, bucko. Okay, we're here. We're here. We're here. There is nothing you can do about it. And she went viral. This had 1 million views. So you responding, which is crazy because when Nafisa called you responding, and I like Nafisa. When Nafisa called you responded, she looked dumb. Because people that actually has a brain said, well, you didn't answer the question. Where is her response? Right here. Well, Fee, you didn't answer the question. And that's normally what you people do. That's what you do. You when you feel you throw insults instead of answering a question. Just answer the question and shut your pie hole. Answer the question. You didn't answer the question. You said, so let me get this straight. While everyone else was enjoying fireworks, you were thinking about how me and Stewie, of all people, are conspiring to force a lockout that will result in less money year-round for the WNBA. Answer the question. You took the time to type this. Why not take the time to explain how you're not conspiring? You didn't do that because you were caught in a lie. You were caught in a lie. It's like getting caught cheating. I've got caught cheating plenty of times. Trust me, in my day, I have. I don't anymore. But I've got caught cheating plenty of times when someone present evidence to your face and they say, hey, I got a picture of you doing this right here, and I got a picture of you sending this text message. You know what I used to say? Why are you checking my stuff? Why are you checking? Why are you going through my phone? You got to kind of, move the conversation to another subject. I'm not going to answer, why are you cheating? No, I'm going to move, I'm going to send you in a whole circle so we don't have to get back to the key question here. Why are you cheating? Because I want to. This is a classic move. This is what she did. That's what she did. She pulled the why you going through my phone. This league, man. Are you not entertained? Yeah, Fee. Your league there. You're not going to be able to just keep running this. Y'all got to fix this stuff around here. You guys can't just keep running this place like a mom and pop shop, and you can't. Okay, it's too many eyes watching now. War Dog says she's gaslighting everyone. Yes, thank you so much, Rick Holt, for the super chat. Rick Holt said, I did not watch the WNBA until Caitlin Clark started playing. I tried, but constant layups and shooting from the paint was boring. However, the hatefulness of this league turning me off. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Hey, it's how a lot of people feel. And the thing is, before we move on, when we talk about a conflict of interest, The conflict of interest that's happening in this league is allowing players to pump and hoop. There's your conflict of interest. Nafisa, Brianna Stewart, Nneka Ogwumike, and the rest of you in the WNBA Players Association. Why don't you talk about the real conflicts of interest happening in this league? That's something you guys should negotiate in the CBA. Maybe your players should stop humping all over each other and put some more hooping in the games. There's your real conflict of interest there. There's a conflict of interest everybody should be talking about. Dejanay Carrington, who needs to be out of that league, and Alyssa Smith out of that league. Another players that are humping on the same team, DeWanna Bonner, who left the team to go be with her humping partner. So you can just hoop on the side and take daily humping trips disguised as away games. There's a conflict of interest. Nneka Ogwumike, Brianna Stewart, and Fee Collier and the rest of you. Put that in the CBA deal. Stop that conflict of interest. And if you don't believe me, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I could not believe what I was watching. They put out a video. Oh, USA beat Brazil in America. All right. Shout out Team USA. We'll talk about that in the WNBA news. I appreciate you letting us know. I knew the game was on, but I don't have the app. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Okay? One player gets traded, and you have the girlfriend of this player have a sit-down interview to answer questions. Not about the season or why they stink or why she stinks. But this league is asking her how she felt because her hump partner got traded. You don't believe me? Take a look. Dejanay Carrington sat down to answer why or how she felt when Alyssa Smith just got traded. And we talk about conflict of interest in this league. Here's why.
I don't even know. It was a really emotional day. And there was less than 10 hours for her to pack and be on the plane. So it was a lot of tears, a lot of just like, I'm excited for her basketball-wise. And, you know, I told her, like, go crazy. Do your thing. This is a great move for you basketball-wise. Of course, off the court, it's hard to separate, like, okay, now we're not going to be able to be living our lives together every single day, and
we're not going to be able to be living our lives every single day. Basically, we're not going to be able, mind you, this is a league in a business. We're not going to be able to be living our lives every single day. So you're not going to be able to hump every day and play basketball on the side.
Like, okay, now we're not going to be able to be living our lives together every single day. And we got to go back to FaceTime all the time and, you know, trying to.
Yes. That's what professional athletes do. They FaceTime their significant others while they're working.
Find a way to hang out with each other when we have off days or coordinating schedules and stuff like that. But
see what's prioritized? Find a way to hang out with each other on off days. You should be putting in work. You see why you both stink?
Or coordinating schedules and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you know, I do believe that this is the best thing for her in her basketball career. And, you know, I told her that at the end, you know, of course, we've had all these emotions all day, but this is a great move for you, and you get to play alongside some of the best. You get to play alongside champions. You get to play alongside one of your GOATs. And so I'm super excited for her. I'm sad. I'm super sad, but I'm super excited for her.
is so damn stupid, man. This is so stupid. And this is put out there and broadcasted. And you're trying to tell me there are really people that's questioning conflicts in the league? There are no conflicts. There are no conflicts. No, we get to go to the game and watch them, and we get to have our 7 rings and our purple hair. And we were fine watching them play until you people got here with your American flags and expectations of a good game. We didn't care about the game. The only thing we cared about is watching our hooping and hopping players. That's it. Now we gotta just watch them play. Now we want to watch their TikToks, and we can't anymore. They put the sad music behind it. Oh my gosh. I feel like sometimes I'm in the upside down world. I do. I'm not even trying to be funny. I feel like sometimes I'm in the upside down. Some of the stuff I see online, like that video, I'm just looking like, she said, we can't live together anymore. And, I was sad. And nothing about basketball. Nothing about what we'll be missing from our team. And what I feel like what she brought to the team and what we'll be missing. Nothing about that. I can't hump and travel with my girlfriend disguised as away games. I can't. Let's go. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh my gosh. This is a mess. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Am I tripping, guys? Please let me know. Am I tripping? Please let me know. Some of this stuff just does not make sense to me. I promise it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Thank you, Shelly, for the super chat. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. Oh. She said, because we can't, just hang out together and live together anymore. She got traded. Yeah. You guys are in a professional basketball league. Whatever. All right, moving along. Christine Brennan. Oh, excuse me. Man, listen. Who needs a reality show when you have the WNBA, okay? Who needs a reality show? I would have never thought that I would be watching a league and following a league and providing commentary on a league that's releasing a tell-all book. Christine Brennan, you guys know how I say that I really, really wish White Jesus would tell, some of the media and some of the people to kiss her white ass. Christine Brennan tells all of everybody to kiss her white ass. You hear me? Christine Brennan wrote her book. Okay. And she is putting the stories out there, baby. She's shaking up the tables. Okay. She's shaking up the tables. Like, what is going on in the league? Yo, the fact that Christine Brennan is putting out a tell-all book.
Hey, you Lloyd fans, I need you to go and vote for her. Let's go vote. Let's vote. For AllStar 2025. Come on, get your mobile phones and go and vote for Jewel Lloyd. Hey. Now, what you need. Make sure you get your phone on the phone. We're voting through June 28th. Go to WNBA.com/vote and hit Jewel Lloyd. Yes. Just a few minutes of your time. That's all we ask you. Vote.
Listen, Christine Brennan, there are real tears coming from my eyes right now. I cannot believe this lady put this book out. But I'm telling you right now, Christine Brennan don't give a damn, okay? She's putting the behind the scenes stuff. They didn't release excerpts from her book. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple of excerpts from Christine's book. Christine, I will be at WNBA AllStar. Okay. I am going to make sure that I'm going to try. I'm going to try to meet you and get a picture with you. Because this book is hilarious. You hear me? These excerpts that came out. Let's take a look. Shade said she was smart to do this. She was. I don't care what anyone says. She's the only reporter right now bold enough to say what's really going on and what really happened. Well, I mean, what other real reporters are in the league? Well, media. Who would read a Natalie Esquire book? So we can read about, she talking about Asia Wilson and how her grandmother went to South Carolina and she gets to, as the only black person or something like that. And that's an honorable thing. That's an honorable thing, right? Christine Brennan is putting out what she encountered in person. Okay? That's all she's doing. She's a real journalist. Okay? We're not talking about Natalie Esquire and your other media people. No. She asked the tough questions. Deal with it. Angela Z23 says it's hard being a truth teller these days. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. You know, you don't get the same things as other media and things like that, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Truth tellers usually don't. All right. Let's take a look at one quote. I just want to go through a couple of quotes from Christine's book. This is funny to me. Where are my glasses? I sure did. I put them up here for this. All right. Christine says out of her book, Indianapolis Fieldhouse Files Fever beat writer Scott Agnes, Indianapolis Star Fever beat writer Chloe Peterson, and I were in the otherwise empty catering area waiting for Fever shoot-around to end on the court nearby when Carrington surprised us with her appearance between the curtains. Why are you talking shit about Nalissa? She blurted out loudly, referring to her partner, Nalissa Smith, the Fever forward. The question surprised the three of us because no one was saying anything personal or derogatory about Smith. Agnes and Peterson had been discussing a bit of Fever strategy they had just noticed on the court, but had been asked not to divulge publicly that Smith was going to be replaced in the starting lineup for Game 2 by veteran Timmy Fagbenle. You're saying she's a bad teammate, Carrington yelled. Then she looked specifically at me. I walked past and heard you talking shit about Nalissa. It was you, out of your mouth. So, this is egregious. This is egregious and this just goes to show you that these players, Dejounte Carrington, these players have to be washed out of this league. They have to be washed out of this league. There is no way that you can come across credited reporters, actual reporters, and approach them. Why you talking shit about Nalissa Smith? Well, Dejounte, Nalissa Smith was stinking at the time, probably because of you. She wasn't rebounding, hitting any free throws, and she looked slow and out of shape. But the fact that you have players approaching reporters like some high school ex over a football player at the locker between third and fourth period goes to show you that these players, these older players in this league, they have to be swept out. They have to be swept out. They're not used to media or fans. They never had any, and they're not used to professionals covering them. Because to confront a reporter that's saying, hey, so word is that Nalissa Smith isn't going to be starting. Timmy Fagbenle is going to be starting for her. That's average reporter talk. That's average sports reporter talk. I know you're not used to Tarika and Foster and Natalie and Chris, the guy that shaved his armpits. I know, and his legs, and sit down when he pee. I know. Chris Williamson, you too. I know that these are the reporters that you guys are used to. Okay? They aren't professionals. They went to the league when it was wide open because they can't cover another sport professionally and skillfully. Okay? So they fanned out over you guys, and that's what you guys are used to. Christine Brennan and the rest, and your Annies of the league, they cover the league with integrity and non-bias. And you're not used to it. Okay? No one's going to sit and just cater to you so they can be invited to your apartments. Another quote. Christine said that wasn't the end of it. 30 minutes later, with Agnes, Peterson, and me now back on the court, waiting to interview the players, Smith walked by, then came back toward the court moments later with her cell phone pressed to her ear. Carrington had left a voicemail for Smith relating her version of the catering area story, according to a Fever official. So these people that were with the Fever are literally telling her what happened. Smith strolled toward me. Do you have something to say to me? She asked. Delissa Smith approached a professional reporter and said, you got something to say to me? Yeah, it couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me because I would have said, yeah, you stink. Why can't you rebound? Why can't you rebound or hit a free throw? Or why do you keep missing defensive assignments? That's what I would have said, but Christine is way more professional than me. Christine says, I'm always happy to talk to you. I replied. She scoffed and walked away. Within minutes, back under the stands in a dark hallway, WNBA Communications Director Sam Tager was standing with Agnes and me. Smith walked by us looking at me. What did you say? Smith asked. What did you say? I told her that no one, Agnes, Peterson, or I, said anything negative about her. You are lying, Smith said to me and walked away. What's crazy is these women, these players are trying to bully a professional reporter that's taking the time to cover your league. That's taking the time to cover you, Nalissa. That's taking the time to cover your missed free throws, missed defensive assignment, slowness on the court, and the lack of forward position that you started in, that you've been warning. And you walk up to somebody and say, what you say? And say, girl, ooh. I hope none of these players see me out. I'm going to be at AllStar and everything. Please, because you guys watch this show, do not walk up to me and confront me about something I said. Please don't. Because I'm not going to be as nice as Christine. I'm going to tell you, I said you stink. What are you going to do about it? You stink. Stinky, dirty diaper. You stink. You're the shit in the diaper. You stink. You shouldn't be in this league. You're washed. What are you going to do about it? Now, you guys should just be happy that somebody's there asking you questions and covering it. Mind you, Christine Brennan, this all stemmed from Christine Brennan asking a simple question to Dejanay. Hey, it's millions of people asking about the eye poke where, you poke Caitlin Clark's eye out. But now this explains why you were out there playing overly aggressive. Overly aggressive. You wanted to hit that white girl. You wanted to hit her. And Alyssa Smith was in on it. So was DeWanna Bonner. So allegedly, I don't need nobody suing me. Allegedly. I think DeWanna Bonner was in on this too when she came to Indiana. I think she just came to Indiana to cash in on her $200,000 and get out. Because Christine goes on to talk about how DeWanna Bonner later approached her saying that you was rude to my teammate. You attacked my teammate. This woman asked legitimate questions. These women, wash them out. Wash them out. Wash them out the league. Send the pink slips. Seriously. Thank you, Tony D. Tony D says even MMA refs are safer than WNBA refs. Seriously, though. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And the thing is, you two, that's walking up on reporters. What did you say? Peeking through curtains. Why are you saying this about her? And Alyssa Smith, what you say about me? You two stink. Stinky. Alyssa Smith, you stink. Dejanay Carrington, you're not anything in the league. You're just two lesbians that have basketball skills, and you were able to just wiggle your way into the league and make it as a basketball couple, and you're stealing money from the WNBA in America. If anything, the WNBA should sue you both for fraud. Brianna Turner too. Seriously. Now this is going too far. Eric 8944 says, who cares if they're gay? It's no one's talking about them being gay, but we have to acknowledge that in the WNBA, being a lesbian definitely puts you higher up in the ladder. Yes, it does. I will say that on this platform. Yes, it does. Yes. And don't have a partner in the league, and then they get to promote it and make commercials about it. Yes. Those are the positive politics in the WNBA, being gay and having a partner. I don't care anything about who anybody sleeps with and whatever anybody into. Trust me. Trust me, I don't. I'm talking about when it comes to the WNBA and teams in this league. That's strictly what I'm talking about. I don't care what anyone does outside of that. It's not my business. Don't care. Could care less. Sis for Aquarius. Sis for Aquarius says Christine gonna need more security than Sis for Aquarius, thank you for the super chat, said Christine gonna need more security than Tupac and Biggie at the Source Awards. Seriously. Seriously. Thank you, Tony D. Oh, that is hilarious to me. All right, so yes, Christine Brennan, this book, this tell-all book in the WNBA. Hey, America in 2025, baby. WNBA got a tell-all book coming out. Make sure you get it. Yes, I'm promoting it on my platform. Go and get it. Caitlin Clark, On Her Game by Christine Brennan. Okay, you can order it on Amazon, and from my understanding, she'll be signing copies at WNBA AllStar. And I'm waiting on the rest of the excerpts to come out, or the quotes and all that to come out. I'm waiting. Talk about a tell-all book. My goodness. All right. Where we at? Oh, we done been here an hour and a half, guys. We are here late tonight. What time is it? 9:57? We're here late tonight. I'm just gonna go through this real quick. Because I know we've been here for a minute. We're gonna go through this and then we're gonna get to the slow of the week. All right. Guys, the All-Star roster has been announced. You guys know White Jesus and Fee Collier are the captains. You got Aaliyah Boston, Paige Beckers, Alicia Gray, Sabrina Ionescu, Nneka Ogwumike, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, Asia Civil Rights Whistle, Sonia Citron, Skylar Diggins, Ron Howard, Kiki Ariafin, Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Alyssa Rugby Thomas, Kayla Thornton, Courtney Williams, Gabby Williams, and Jackie Young are the All-Star reserves. Okay. They are your All-Star reserves. Well, that's the complete All-Star roster, actually. Okay. So Eric8944 says Jules' mom couldn't help get her on the All-Star team. All right, so that's the All-Star. This is the All-Star roster, guys. So on July 8th, which is this Tuesday, upcoming Tuesday, Captain Clark and Fee Collier will be choosing their teams. Okay, they'll be choosing between the starters and the reserves as well. So we'll be able to see that. Of course, I'll be here covering that. Okay, just a couple of things here. De'Erica Hamby had a issue with the All-Star selections. Okay, if you look here, De'Erica Hamby says, "Whatever about me, but taking two and not including the best player from a below 500 team is crazy." So De'Erica Hamby has been getting a lot of flack online, not only because she's a extremely subpar player. De'Erica Hamby, the fact that she is talking about Brittany Sykes for the Washington Mystics, because these players are upset. You got De'Erica Hamby, you got Jonquel Jones, who says nothing worse than playing like an all-star and not being one. With that being said, thanks to all the people who took the time to vote for me, and congratulations to all the all-stars this year. And now Jonquel Jones, I like Jonquel Jones. I think she's a little bit uncouth sometimes, a little bit wild when she plays, but overall, I like her. De'Erica Hamby, I think, is a little bit washed sometimes. I think De'Erica Hamby could be. She's just not. She didn't look good in the Sparks versus Fever game. But nonetheless, I think what's happening is these vets are upset that you have rookies getting all-star nominations. Kiki Ariafan and Sonia Citron, I think they're upset because they're used to, like I mentioned earlier, their media praising them for subpar, very mediocre play. And they have rookies that are coming into the league and that are faster than them, have more fans than them, more popular than them, better than them, just overall breaking records in 1 to 2 years that took them 7-8 years to do, things like that, and they're giving a different look, a different style of play to the league. So they're upset. And the thing is, it's just go sit on the couch. Go sit on the couch or go sit in front of your laptops, however you do your sessions, whether virtually or you go to an office, go talk to your therapist and figure out why you're dealing with the fact that younger girls are coming to this league and kind of pushing you out. I get it. I understand. I mean, as a human, I can get how that could be frustrating, but don't get online and try to diminish two young players that earned that. Sonia Citron has been hooping this year. Kiki Ariafan looks good this year. Every game, they're welcoming y'all to the new league. The rookies, and moving forward, these rookies are going to keep welcoming you all, you vets, to the new league. That's just what it is. Okay? Deal with it. Paige Beckers, she made the league. That Dallas squad looks better when Paige Beckers were in the offense instead of Arike Ogunbowale chucking up 15 to 17 shots. It just is what it is. You guys' style of play is no longer going to work. Deal with that. Also, Jonquel, you're injured. You're injured, dear. Who was going to keep voting for you? You're injured. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Where we at? We are now at the point of the show where each and every week we choose what's called the slow of the week. Okay, now the slows, these are the people with the septum rings and the purple hair and the glasses. You see it in the shirt. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Don't be a slow. And if you want your Don't Be a Slow shirt, make sure you shop the W360.com. You can get it in black or you can get it in white. And I'm actually about to put out a red color as well, okay? Shop the W360.com. Don't be a slow. All right, now these people are existing in the WNBA as fans. They are existing in the media. Okay, they exist online. They vote. They reproduce. They tweet me. And they tweet the rest of W360 Nation, okay? But here at the W360 Nation, we do not condone any type of bullying, okay? But what we do believe is to bring bullying back because we got to get the slows out of here. So with the slow of the week, we pick one out of the bunch, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to pick the slow of the week. But this week, it wasn't very hard. It wasn't very hard. All right? So, this week, my dear Carolyn Peck, you are the slow of the week. Look at you. Look at Carolyn Peck. She's the slow of the week, folks. Carolyn Peck, to start out, I normally respected Carolyn Peck. I always thought she was a bit biased, especially in her, actually, let me make this smaller. I'm going to put you here, and Carolyn, you are here big and tall so everyone can see your face. I actually respected Carolyn Peck, but the slow of the week do not discriminate. Do not discriminate, but she said some really stupid things over the past couple of days and then tried to circle back and talk to people like they were slow like her. All right, so before we get into the slow of the week, let's take a listen to what Carolyn Peck had to say.
We were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games, 's, without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Well, Indiana is playing a great basketball. They have a lot of talent. 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 They Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot. So you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind. Aaliyah Boston. I talked to Stephanie White before the game. She said in year one, Aaliyah Boston was back to the basket. Year two, two-man game. Year three, they're using her as a decision maker. And so when you have a point guard like Kelsey Mitchell and Ari McDonald making plays on the perimeter and a post like Aaliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, Indiana, they are a threat. And specifically on the defensive end, Stephanie is so pleased with the intensity that they're bringing defensively with their length, their switches. I mean, they've wreaked havoc on their last two opponents.
Okay. So Carolyn Peck, love you, dear. Love you, dear. But as I said, the slow of the week does not discriminate. Let me pull you back up here. Slow of the week does not discriminate. Carolyn Peck, you knew exactly what you were saying when you made that statement on ESPN, national television. You knew exactly what you were saying. You can come out, and I'm going to put your tweets up here just to give you the benefit of doubt in a minute. You can come out all day and say, well, that's not what I was saying. I was trying to highlight the other players. You're a professional. You've been doing this a long time. There were so many ways you could have explained how good Indiana Fever was playing without saying they're a better team without Caitlin Clark. I'll tell you, and I'm just a YouTuber. You can say, despite Caitlin Clark's absence, their best player and the best player in this league, Indiana Fever is finding a way to win through their defense. That's a better way to say it. That's how you would say it if it was Asia Wilson and the Aces. You find a way to make sure that you don't discredit Asia Wilson with Asia Wilson. But you sat on national TV and you tried to push that agenda because you think you wanted to put that out there. You're one of the black media members with L. Dumpkin, Shanae Ogwumike, Monica McNothing Smart to say, and the rest of you, you hate to see America's team winning. You hate it to see them win the Commissioner's Cup. You hate it to see them beat Vegas. You hate it to see them beat Minnesota. So you discredit, you gave a backhanded compliment to America's team. That's all you did. That's all you did because you're with the rest of the black haters in the media that don't like to see the white girl taking over the league. Just have balls and say that. I promise you, no one else, I promise you, no one, I would respect you more. I would respect you more if you just said, I don't like to see the white girl winning. I know I got a white husband. Doesn't matter. I don't like to see the white girl winning. I'm still going along with the cookout agenda. Why don't you say that? You know there was a different way you could have said what you said. You wanted people to keep pushing. Yeah, Indiana Fever don't need Caitlin Clark, so that way you can ease into your agenda. This league doesn't actually need Caitlin Clark. See how good this league is without Caitlin Clark? That's the agenda that you, Chanel Grumake, want to push. Monica McNothing Smart to say, L. Dumpkin, and the rest of you want to push. And you know it. You know it. Y'all hate that white girl from your black hearts. Y'all hate her from your black hearts. And I'm going to go far and say this. I think it's because Carolyn Peck, I watch you. You love South Carolina. You love South Carolina. You and Dawn Staley, you know. What are you mad because not as many people talking about Asia Wilson? You're that mad. You're that mad. Now, people pay attention to college basketball coverage. She loves South Carolina. She's very biased towards South Carolina and that organization. So, of course, you're going to say, yeah, see, America's team. Not that she would ever say that. But Indiana, they're much better. See, look at the black players on Indiana. See, or look at the Indiana is much better without Caitlin Clark because you're upset that no one is talking about Asia Wilson's bomb ass. You're that mad. You're that mad. These narratives that you, Dawn Staley, Natalie Esquire, and the rest of this bum media that call yourselves journalists, Shanae Ogumake, and the rest of you, these narratives that you guys have tried to push, isn't working. No one's buying it. Las Vegas looks like shit. They look like shit. So you want to discredit the hottest team that's out there right now. You stink. Seriously. Now, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The bias is ridiculous. And this is why you have YouTube shows like mine, like Rose, Ben Daniels, CDS, everyone, and it's multiple YouTube shows out there like you. Hey. This is bullshit that's being said. This is bullshit. And guess what? We messed around and have a following. You want to know why? Because the people want to hear real and the truth, not this bullshit. And then, because you're used to talking to septum ringers. That's the thing. That's the thing. You're used to being able to say things like this. And it's the buzz cuts and septum ringers and the honest. And they say, oh, okay, well, you know, Asia Wilson, she's the best player in the world. No, she's not. White Jesus is. She's a Steph Curry. Yes, she is. Rudy Rant. Many others. That's why I hate naming names because you always leave out people. But I say that to say, this is just another media member that's just showing that they do not root for Indiana Fever. And when they try to get on TV and say, yeah, the Indiana Fever, they're here for the Commissioner's Cup, and one player we got to talk about, they're being fake. They're behind the scenes, trust me. They're behind the scenes, and they are seething and rooting against Indiana. And it's just racism. It's reverse racism at the end of the day. I won't even say reverse racism. It's racism. Racism. That's it. That's all it is. It's racism. Y'all do not like the fact that Sophie Cunningham went and made that statement to America. Y'all do not like the fact that Caitlin Clark came off that injury and beat New York Liberty and scored 30 points. Y'all do not like the fact that Indiana Fever is America's team. They can lose 10 more games. Guess what? They're the Dallas Cowboys of the WNBA. They're America's team, not the Aces. Deal with it. And the thing is, just to wrap this up, you think Carolyn Pack would give America's team more love nationally because you literally coached Stephanie White gave you a NCAA national championship. In 1999, Stephanie White Leather was a player at Purdue University for you, and led that squad to a national championship. Does it matter? Does it matter? That's what makes this even worse. You're hating on one of your own players' squad that's changing the history, that's making history in this league. You're pathetic. You and this black code is pathetic when it comes to sports. Carolyn Pack came out to say, I did not say Caitlin Clark is not valuable. She's a great player. For those who only see Caitlin, I was complimenting the rest of the team. The Fever have several weapons. Yes, they lost last night. They have lost games with her. Respect to the whole Indiana Fever organization. She also came out to say, guys, as a coach, if you have ever prepared a scouting report, scout the Fever with and without Caitlin, what do you have to take away in both scenarios? They are different. One is not easier and the other easier than the other, just different. There is a lot of talent on that team. Exactly what I just said earlier, Carolyn. There was a much better way of wording that. There was a much better way of wording that. You knew exactly what you were doing when you said this team is a lot better without Caitlin Clark. You would have never said that about the Aces without Asia Wilson. You could have said this team is finding a way how to win without their best player as their other weapons are stepping up. You see how easy that is? You know exactly what you're doing. That's the rest of you. That's the rest of you. And for that, Carolyn Pack, you are the slow of the week. Okay. So, I say that to say, thank you for the super chat. The 6'8" Aquarius, copyright Asia Whistle after you end this live, sis. Thank you so much. I say that to say, yeah, make sure you hit me up, girl. You or your team. You can get your own Don't Be a Slow shirt. I'd love for you to wear it proudly. I actually think you would look really nice in it. I think the black one will look good on you, just like you here in this picture. The black one will look good on you. I think you should wear it on ESPN. Don't Be a Slow, okay, on shopthew360.com. Shopthew360.com. You should go ahead and order you a shirt. You did a great job this week earning your award. Okay, I hope not to see you here again. Okay, now you're older, and I generally appreciate your commentary, but I have noticed you are a bit biased. But it's okay, all of us are. So I don't care about that. I promise you, I do not care about that. You know, I know you and Dawn. You know, you root for South Carolina. I know. It's all right. It's all right. All right. With that being said, that is going to wrap up this week's episode, guys, or tonight's episode. Make sure you have your notifications turned on. Make sure you are following me on Twitter at the W360 _, at the W360 _. Okay. Other than that, guys, we will be back here. I'll get you down. You know. You're done. We'll be back here probably when the WNBA announcers are announced. I think it was on Tuesday, the 8th. So we'll probably be here covering that. And also after, of course, the next Fever game. There are a couple of games tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. So I can tell you now I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday. But Tuesday I'll probably be back. And of course, moving forward from there, okay? AllStar weekend. I can't wait to see W360 Nation there. Other than that, W360 Nation, that's going to wrap up this week's episode, okay? Until next episode, peace and